Hey, what up, YouTube? How you doing? We're jumping into our U.S. section. That's right. We're going to have our mass shooting update at the end of this, but we got various, bits and bobs about what's happening in the U.S. So let's just jump right into it. This clip came up. It's really great to see. Love it. But I do have I do have one criticism for Miss Porter at the end here, because she kills it. She kills it every time, man. She's entertaining. She's funny. This is interesting. The funny way to talk about this, talking about the DOD and being audited properly and all that, and accountability for these government agencies and all that, right? Okay, yeah, it was a great conversation. Okay. But yeah, so stick around at the end of this clip to hear what I have to say about this. But this is funny.
Mr. Tenaglia.
Enablers for 300.
Pardon me?
Enablers for 300.
Enablers for 300. Individuals who get rich while pushing to overspend our tax dollars.
I don't know.
Who are defense lobbyists? Mr. Mansfield.
Waste for 200.
Waste for 200. I'm really counting on you here, Mr. Mansfield. A program that is $183 billion over budget
with a B,
and 10 years behind schedule.
And by the way, these are also the ones that Turkey would like a few as well. I have no idea why.
What is the Joint Strike Fighter program?
What is the what?
Is it the Joint Strike Fighter program?
What? That's correct. What is the F-35 program? Correct.
This fucking thing is a boondoggle, dude. And I tell you what, if World War III were to kick off, there'd be like -1 F-35s in the air. These things, this is an embarrassment, right? This is government. This is government. The military-industrial complex expenditures run amok. You could watch a 10-hour documentary on the F-35 program and be shocked to your core at the amount of money being wasted on this absolute money void, money toilet of the F-35 program.
Correct. Mr. Khan.
Missing guardrails for 200.
Missing guardrails for 200. The institution that has authorized more defense spending than the president requested for the current fiscal year. Who has authorized more defense spending than the president requested for this current 2023 fiscal year?
I would say it's the Armed Services Committee.
We'll give you that. Who is? Congress.
Okay. So he said Armed Services Committee, and the answer was Congress, but the Armed Services Committee is made up of members of Congress.
Mr. Tenaglia, I'd really love to see you get one right here. I'm rooting for you.
Missing guardrails for 100.
Missing guardrails for 100. This one I think you're going to know. A review that every agency has passed except the DOD.
What is an audit?
What is an audit?
Audit.
Correct. Mr. Mansfield.
We'll go with missing.
All right. So, and it goes on. Very funny. Kim Porter's great. But here's the thing. Am I supposed to believe that the neoliberals want to do these things in any kind of effective capacity, right? All the things on her little sign here. Audits. How many times and how many neoliberal Democrats and how many times has Miss Porter voted for appropriations bills and other things that have funded the F-35 program? And this is my problem with the neoliberals and their fucking snarky West Wing, right? I'm smarter. We got the right way. We know what we're doing attitude. Is that, I mean, honestly, enablers, Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, defense lobbyists. Really, there's no neoliberal enablers for the goddamn DOD? Really? It is impossible to have an honest conversation about this if we have individuals like this, right, that are making good points but are intentionally ignoring one side, that are so clearly partisan. Right? How are we supposed to have an honest conversation about these things with characters like Mrs. Porter here, who are making great points about the other side, but are extremely hypocritical, right? Without an ounce of self-reflection, and they're not even asked to justify it, right? Hey, Miss Porter, wow, great points, with your interviews there, or whatever. It's some fucking, whatever the fuck this is. Great questions. How come you voted for the F-35 program? Has Kim Porter ever been asked that question on MSNBC? Hey, didn't you vote for this? Right? And she would, of course, never go on Fox News, where they would ask her all those things, right? They'd try to drill her, of course, because she's a lefty. But I mean, come on. That's my problem with this. Is like, yeah, zingers, yeah, you're killing it. Wow, bop, bop, bop. Share this on social media, right? Donate more money to the DNC. Where's the fucking, where's the fucking sauce? Where's the fucking gabagool here, right? You fucking hypocrite. How many times did Kim Porter vote for the F-35 program, right? Is there a program that could tell us that, right? Because I'm telling you, it's more than once. I guarantee it's more than once. She either voted for it directly or something adjacent to it, right? Because they're always, pork barrel spending, right? They're throwing shit on these bills. They're totally unrelated. That was my point. I like Kim Porter, but I would like to see a neoliberal party that is less hypocritical. Hate to do this. I should probably, I'm going to do this right before the mass shooting update because it's incredibly ironic. So we'll get back to that one. As everyone knows, I thought I would mention this as well. Where's my goddamn beats? As everyone knows, Woke Patriot, my name is Abandoned Nihilism, and I'm here to squash this idea that we can't have better politics, that we can't have more honest conversations, right? Because it's all just a game that we're all crawling over the corpses to get to the top. Okay? There is a better way. We have to demand it. We have to enforce it. We have to build it. That's the thing that the lefties are often forgetting, is that we have to get dirty. We have to fight. Being correct, being morally superior isn't enough. We have to defend and fight for these values. Period. If we want to create this world that we're talking about, we have to fight for it. And that means fighting against people that disagree with us to the death. We got to represent this shit to the motherfucking death, dude. If we want this shit to happen. That's what we're up against. True believers that will die for this shit. Steve Bannon will die for this shit. They're cowards at their heart, right? But they'll die for this shit, for what they believe in. Some of them will. Let's be real. There's a lot of cowards there. I think Steve Bannon will, but Nick Fuentes would run like a little bitch. You know what I mean? Like the first fucking, like literally, you know what I mean? I don't mean to like criticize effeminate men or anything, right? All right, anyway, back to what we're talking about. So as everyone knows, major heat waves, literally record-breaking heat waves, the hottest the Earth has ever been since we've started recording how hot the Earth can get. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Exactly, Chem Goblin. I have some plans pertaining to Nick Fuentes. I can't wait to tell you more about it. I've been thinking about it a lot. But I will be making an announcement very soon. Might even hire a cinematographer to do this video that I'm thinking about doing correctly. Some question: becoming a true believer who will die for this shit, fight for true believers who. Yeah, exactly. You don't need an army of true believers to make an army of dangerous people. You can have an army of cowards. Let's not forget Nazi Germany. Yo, Kissing Gonzo, what's up? It's hot out right now, but it was cold a couple months ago. And these liberals over here talking about global warming. I'm freezing my nuts off over here. Hey, gabagool. We can still do Italians, right? I can do Italian, right? They're not going to be offended. Man, I can't do anything. Unrelenting heat is baking much of Europe as summer temperatures soar to new records as climate scientists warn that time is running out for an overheated planet. Time is out. Time has run out. And I don't mean to be cynical. I don't mean to be nihilistic, because there is light at the end of this tunnel, but the damage has been done. It continues to be done. It's not complete. Give up all hope. It's not complete. Give up all hope, right? because there is a lot of really interesting science. There's a lot of really interesting technology. There's a lot of interesting organizations like the Ocean Cleanup Project that are out there doing amazing work. Okay, there's thousands of organizations like that pressuring governments to go harder. We just had a climate victory in the UK. You know, Greta Thunberg there throwing up the dubs. Love to see it. Was that real or was that AI when she threw up the middle fingers? So you love to see it, right? But fact of the matter is, the momentum from the Industrial Revolution up until very recently, this whole idea of recycling, right, being just a total hoax since the 80s, that momentum has not slowed down, okay? And it's going to take a lot of work to reverse that momentum. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but we should not let the nihilists and the cynicists and the career grifters get away with their climate denialism and their climate nihilism, right? Saying, oh, well, it's out of our control. There's nothing we could do. I just want to jerk off. I hear you, bud. But you know what I mean, right? It's no matter how hard we push back, it's going to get worse before it gets better. There's going to be grifters and opportunists that say you should just give up, burn as much oil and coal as you want. It doesn't matter anymore, right? We can't listen to them. There is light at the end of this tunnel, but it is going to get worse before it gets better. How come what happened to my, uh-oh, where did I put it? I had the coolest video ready. Hold on. Seeing this, we got to, okay, Joe Biden. Seeing your username made me think of this video.
It's NATO time, Jack.
It's a pretty cool video. Damn, that's a growing alliance. Yeah, no, it's absolutely mill porn. It's absolutely military porn, and this is just beyond cringe. Can NAFO shut the fuck up, right? I will be doing next week. I will be doing a segment specifically on how can we criticize NATO, right? Is it possible still even more with shit like this in our face, right? What are we supposed to do with something like this? Okay, come on. All right. With that said, this video shows right here. I mean, the alliance is growing, right? I mean, the intro is great.
3, 2, 1. It's NATO time, Jack.
It's NATO time, Jack. It's NATO time, Jack. Okay. We do need to reel it in. Okay. The left needs to reel it in. Okay. Because let me tell you, it's all fun and games until the next Iraq, Afghanistan, or Vietnam rolls up, right? You don't think Iran is on the motherfucking chopping block? How are you gonna feel when Iran is getting harassed, right? And you're like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't no liberation. What are we doing, right? It's all fun and games until the U.S. empire is no longer, helping a fledgling democracy like in the Ukraine that fully deserves its help and its defense and is utilizing its help to the fullest extent. Oh yeah, what happens when we, when we start, throwing weapons and resources to Israeli soldiers who are battling it out in Iran, right? And all of a sudden we're having a fake synthetic debate about, oh wow, should we send NATO into Iran to peacekeep? All right, we do need to reel it in on the NATO shit, lefties. Okay, back to this real quick. Some regions are facing temperatures that are expected to remain well above 40 degrees Celsius, the European Space Agency says. Some regions are facing temperatures that are, the Archopolis in the Greek capital of Athens has closed on Friday between noon and 5 p.m. due to extreme heat. In the morning, a tourist suffered a mild heat stroke while visiting the Acropolis, Athens archaeological landmark. It's weird. They should have pointed out that China actually told people that were working outside, stay inside. You got to have a serious situation when China tells, millions of workers who are working outside, yeah, don't go to work. You're literally we're gonna have too many dead people from heat stroke if you work in the Chinese style way in this heat. She was taken to the hospital, but is not in danger. That's great. The emergency services said similar conditions prevailed in Cyprus on Friday when thermometers in the capital, Nicosia, reached 43 centigrade. That's huge. The Alliance Radio reported. Cities and municipalities across Greece opened air-conditioned buildings for citizens to seek shelter from the scorching heat. Don't forget, if you have elderly people, no offense, infirm people of all different kinds and ages, right, that you're worried about, don't forget to remind them that it's very likely that there's a place for them to cool down, to get water, to be in an air-conditioned area, maybe to lie down. A lot of these places will have cots or mattresses for you to lie down in a cool environment. So, because some people are very poor and, they don't have an AC, they have like a crappy fan, right? They think they can tough it out. And things get, according to meteorologists in Athens, there is no sign of temperatures dropping to the usual 35 centigrade for the time of the year. There is no relief in sight for Italy either after this week's so-called Cerberus heat wave. Wow, that's really awesome name for it. Named after the three-headed monster that features in Dante's Inferno. Meteorologists said it will be even hotter next week, and that is this week, actually. And it is fucking hot today, I can tell you that. Global warming, yeah, right. Wait a minute. Parts of Germany will heat up on Saturday. Temperatures will rise to 30°C and 37°C in the eastern and southern regions of the country, according to the German weather service, DWD. Experts pointed to climate change. Nuh-uh, because it was cold some time ago. Global warming's growing impact. Extreme weather events, which are occurring with increasing frequency in our warming climate, have significant impacts on human health, ecosystems, economies, agriculture, and energy and water supplies, said the World Meteorological Organization, WMO Secretary General Petri Talas in Geneva. This underscores the increasing urgency to reduce greenhouse gas emissions as quickly as profoundly as possible. Yada, 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 yada. No one's listening. No one's fucking listening. Are people even in the chat listening? You know what I mean? Like, no one's listening. America swelters too. The heat is expected to continue well into next week as high-pressure dome moves west from Texas. Firefighters in Southern California were battling 3 separate brush fires on Friday. By the way, in Canada, there's, I think the stat that I looked at last week, I think it was on the news, there's over 300 fires in Canada happening right now that are considered out of control. It's just, it's no one's really talking about. On Mexico, yeah, so anyway, you get it. You want to read the rest of this? I've never heard of the New Daily. I'm not even sure where it is. Thank you, Lee. It's all good. The American Patriot. Why don't you shut up? Wah, 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 wah. I love you so-called fucking patriots. You're the biggest fucking bitch boy snowflakes I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit, shut the fuck up. I don't care. I'd be doing this if I had 0 viewers, homie. Because this is about making change. This is about my activism. Okay? I don't care if I'm the only motherfucker in the room and that no one thinks I'm correct. I know I'm right. These are my principles. I know that I'm correct. I know it's correct to give people health care, to give people education, to give people a fair wage. Okay? I don't need the backing of anybody to know that that's true. I don't need a God to tell me that's true either. So anyway, folks, our activists of the week. Activists of the week are Climate Defiance. Climate Defiance, making a name for themselves. Maybe a splinter group of Just Stop Oil, or maybe they didn't like Just Stop Oil, or they're in solidarity with Just Stop Oil, but they want to go in a slightly different direction. Whatever the hell it is, I don't care. I'm down with it. Keep it up. Climate defiance. You know I love it. You don't know me at all, brother. I wear my hat backwards and I wear big sunglasses. That's what I do. I'm not like the other sheep. MAGA for life. I should use ViewBots. But anyway, climate defiance. Climate defiance. Love these guys. Interrupting speeches on Harvard. And I have I think there's another clip in here of them. Yeah. Talking like an asshole for 5 seconds hurts my throat. Because I'm such a pussy. Let's see here. I don't know if this is Climate Defiance doing this, but where is my... I don't have the clip of them shutting down the... Wow, I thought I had the clip of them shutting down the baseball game. God, I suck at this. I thought I had the clip. So there's another clip of them shutting down a baseball game. I'll go through it after this clip to see if I can find it here. I'll just go to their Twitter. But they're doing... This is how you do it, right? Look, I think Davey does have a good point. Hey, no problem, Panda Man. It was a short stream anyway. I had a little family emergency I had to take care of. So I thought this was... I think the point against blocking traffic just for regular Joes... I think there's some really good points about why the left shouldn't be doing that. Look, there is benefit to it. It'll get you on the news, right? But at the same time, I don't know if annoying regular folks is the right strategy in this case. Sometimes you got to annoy regular folks, right? Sometimes you got to do a protest, shuts down Market Street, right? Or shuts down a major street, shuts, and makes life hell. You got to drive around them. But it really does, yes, Cottonmouth here says, it really does piss people off. And if you're going to be doing it just kind of whatever, like we're doing it, like it's got to be done correctly. And I really do think the argument about, targeting government buildings, targeting residential areas for, politicians, right? Targeting the politicians directly and making their lives hell is more effective, right? This is also really good, right? I think this is less effective though. Shutting down speeches and making your voice heard in this way. I think it's important to do this. But I think it's less effective. You're not going to get as much media attention. But I think it is important, at the very least, to show the diehards, right? Because the people that are showing up for stuff like this are usually diehards, politically, one direction or another. Homie, this is not the MAGA hour. Okay, let me give this guy one opportunity. Hey, Mr. American Patriot, I will give you one opportunity to play the game. Would you like to play the game? If not, you'll just get banned immediately. But I will give you a chance to survive if you would like to play the game, Mr. American Patriot. Yes or no? You have one opportunity to answer. Yes or no? What do we got here? Mr. American Patriot. There's a bit of a delay.
When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Fire Jones! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down!
You have one more opportunity to answer yes or no.
Shut it down! Jody Freeman gets paid $350,000 a year to work for...
So yeah, when you're doing this, you need to make sure that the momentum never slows down. And I do heavily recommend rehearsing. I do recommend rehearsing these events before you do them. Have speeches ready. Yeah, it's the stop. It's a project. I think it's the Willow Creek. I think that's what it is. Okay, all right, American Patriot. Thanks so much for your goddamn input. Enjoy the trash can, fucking loser and pussy. American Patriot refuses to play the game like a pussy would.
At the same time,
Usual coward. The usual conservative bullshit.
Environmental and Energy Law Program.
Bye-bye.
Is complicit in the building of Willow, which is the destruction of humanity. What do we want?
So I've made my criticisms and points about protesting specifically with these speeches. I'm okay with it. But at the same time, I don't think they're as effective as certain other ones. Real quick, let me show you the thing that I think is most effective. What I think, yeah, here it is, right at their top page here. So this is the bipartisan congressional women's softball game. And I can't believe that there are people in the audience watching this shit.
Looks like
here
we're gonna have a
is
little
Climate
stoppage in play to
Defiance.
deal with the
Here is Climate Defiance interrupting their little fucking game. There are apparently snipers up on the roof, right? Understandably, these are people in government. But they shut down the whole softball game, right? They make their lives a living hell, really pissing off these politicians. And who's in the audience here? Why? Are you a fan? This is outrageously stupid. And let me say something here. And I'll say, I think I showed this yesterday, didn't I? That's why I showed it yesterday. That's why I didn't have it queued up. But no, can we talk about the audience not jumping in? Where are you at? These people are supposed to be political. They're, oh, you're making my neoliberal politician who's not nearly doing enough about climate change. You're making them look bad. You're bad for making them look bad. You're bad for pointing out that they're not doing enough. They're doing just enough to fight against the fascists. You guys are pro-Republican. That's what all these MSNBC wine moms in the fucking audience, and I guess there's right-wingers as well. Boy, it must have been one hell of a partisan, weird environment, right? Super fans of right and left congressional members. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Get your ass off your fucking seats and join these people. This is your planet, too. You live here just as much as we do, man. So the people in the audience should be ashamed of themselves. And I know I'm repeating myself from yesterday, but God damn it, they should be. And I think this is some of the most congressional. There shouldn't be a PR attempt. There shouldn't be anything from these. Look at this, some politician here. Oh, yeah, go get him. She's probably saying, I vote, I support you. No, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough.
Sometimes on totally unrelated policy issues can often be very frustrating. We do see
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think this is the most effective form of protest. Panda Man, get your motherfucking Milton Friedman bullshit up out of my chat. Okay, the fact that maybe there's some profit that could be made from fixing climate, but that shouldn't be the motivation. But I do agree. There's a lot of money to be made in fixing the climate. There just is a lot of products, a lot of companies, right? But the fact is, we're not going to really have that true effort unless it's driven by a nonprofit kind of motive, right? Fixing the climate will not be led by a profit motive. Kind of protest creates awareness and hits where it hurts, where people have spent their leisure money. That's what I'm saying, kissing Gonzo. Now, with that said, I don't necessarily disagree with stuff like this either. I just think that if you're going to be doing stuff like this, you better have a very clear idea of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and it better be like a critical enough situation. And like I said, like you do need, and I don't think they're blocking like a highway or a major road here. This looks like they're blocking something else. I'll read some context in on it. But make sure it's targeted specifically where people can't make the ambulance argument against you, right? Like, oh, you were blocking an ambulance. You were blocking an ambulance. Breaking, famed philanthropist Abigail Disney. What? Oh, is this one of the good Disneys? I've heard of these people. This is one of the good Disneys. Abigail Disney shuts down access to luxury private jets in East Hampton. So yes, I agree. This is exactly the kind of targeted protesting that should be done, right? We're targeting the rich. We're targeting the oligarchy. We're targeting the influential directly. So this is them shutting down access to luxury private jets in the East Hamptons. And hey, MAGA fucks, what? You got a fucking private jet? You were so offended? Slightly tethered. Thank you for that follow. Right? Don't give me your bullshit, you $30,000 a year fucking losers over here complaining about billionaires not being able to access their fucking private jets. Fuck you. Okay? Don't you give me that bullshit. Oh, you shouldn't do this. Shouldn't block traffic. Whoa. Okay? Well, what? You can't stand to see your rich paymasters slightly inconvenienced for a couple hours? The 1% can try to hide in the Hamptons, but they can't hide from the masses. Exactly. This woman is like a multimillionaire, I believe, as well, right? She gets a little cut of that Disney money. So you love to see it. It looks like we have a climate change moron in the chat. Make sure you take a shit on Cottonmouth for his blatant, clear ignorance. Hey, Cottonmouth, how much research have you done into climate science? Are you a specialist in the field that could really drill down and tell us, give us some kind of enlightenment over the scientific consensus that climate change is real? Oh, well, scientists just want to make money. Scientists just want to make money. That's why they're pretending climate change is real. Lamest fucking ass pull excuse I've ever seen in my life. Jack shit. Jack fucking shit. You're pecking around like a pigeon who knows what he's talking about, making a big fucking embarrassment of yourself. Science is not beyond us, you goddamn moron. Science is beyond us. Says a person who doesn't engage with science. Says a person who what are you, a fucking master of masturbation? Right? What are you fucking good at? What's your day job? What's your skill, dude? Are you in this field? Right? Because when I'm talking with the people that I'm quoting are the scientists, the people that are actually studying this. That's the people that I'm agreeing with. That's the people that these people are listening to. Yeah, it's the end of the fucking planet, jackass. It's Miami is going to be fucking, underwater. What's going to happen with New York? What's going to happen with California? What's going to happen with San Francisco? Not to mention the third world countries that are already suffering from this. So fuck you, bitch. You goddamn right I'm emotional about this. This is directly affecting people's lives, you selfish piece of crap. Get off your ass and do something worth a damn besides jerking your fucking gherkin, you goddamn gas station attendant. Oh, where is my... There we go. Okay. Just going to go ahead and move on with my life. I mean, you do not argue with stupid people because they will beat you every single time. Okay? Do not engage with people that deny science, that deny facts, that are using their feelings to dictate their ideas on what is happening scientifically. I don't study it. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I got a big important opinion that you need to listen to. Avoid those people like the fucking plague. They don't know what they're talking about. They're gleefully letting billionaires shit all over our planet for a meager amount of profit that they are not enjoying. Panda Man and Cottonmouth are not enjoying the profits being generated by these climate change fucking monsters, these corporations and companies that are polluting the earth. They're not getting a fucking slice of that. So how fucking stupid you gotta be to let a company shit all over your planet and you're not even getting a slice of the goddamn pie? You think Panda Man, you think Panda Man and Cottonmouth are getting a goddamn chunk of that shit? Right? Coca-Cola sending them a check for their support. Oh, climate change, yeah, it doesn't really happen. It's not really a big deal. All the other scientists, big red fucking blinking light, something's happening, we need to do something immediately. Don't listen to them. I know what I'm talking about. How many peer-reviewed studies do you think Panda Man and Cottonmouth have fucking authored? Oh, those are all fake scientists. Those are fake scientists. They're talking about fake shit and all. They're just making shit up because they want money. They're making shit up so that they can keep their job and they can make money. completely ignoring the fact that the scientific method only rewards money to people that can have provable hypotheses, right, in the fields that they're experts in. You don't just get handed money by saying climate change is real, and then you get a big fucking fat check. Do not believe these bad actors. Cut them out from your life. Climate change is real. Okay? And it's really fucking us up. It's not a fucking joke. Don't let oh, it's not a big deal. You're so emotional. Right? As Louisiana drowns. So here's a multimillionaire. Here's a multimillionaire showing some solidarity here. This is how you do it. And look, I don't know if she's handcuffed in there, but usually they're in there by choice, and she's holding on to something, right? She refuses to let go. So if she felt like she was in actual danger, she'd probably just let go. But it is a little frightening, you know. This is what it looks like, right, when you're trying to make a point. So sick and tired of these bad actors pretending like climate change isn't a legitimate issue, right? Oh, but you know what is a legitimate issue? Kitty litter in fucking schools, right? Gay people that want to diddle your kids, except statistically you're more likely to get diddled by your goddamn right-wing MAGA uncle who wants to lower the age of consent. Statistically true. Right-wingers, libertarians. Well, I don't want a gay person coming into the bathroom trying to molest my 350-pound ass. I can't even see my dick, but they're going to try and go for it. They're going to try and molest me. I'm 350 pounds. They're going to try and molest me. You kidding me? Average gay person is going to be disgusted with you, dude. Your average MAGA Republican. You want to have a conversation about lowering the age of consent? No. Wow, why is this here? This is Ukrainian news. Boy, I'm taking too long to do this news. I got to start moving. We can't cut the commies out. Okay? We can't cut commies out of the conversation. We can't, because socialism derives from Marx, right? We want to integrate more socialism into our society. We want to do it in a fair way that isn't totalitarian, that isn't authoritarian. I'm a democratic socialist, if you didn't know, right? So I do believe that certain socialist ideas need to be fully integrated in society, but I also do believe that capitalism still does have a purpose. And if we properly chain and regulate capitalism, we can use it to our benefit. With that said, the communists, honest ones, do often make salient, I think I'm saying that word correctly, points. They make smart points about, why are we settling for that? Why are we settling for less? Right? Why are we settling for less? Right? That doesn't mean we have to, take the Communist Manifesto and make it our constitution. Right? Not even close. But we do need to continue, because it's so fascinating to me. Anytime there's a problem with capitalism, a failure of capitalism, there's almost always a socialist solution that fits perfectly. That really works really well. It doesn't please everybody, but no solution pleases everybody. But it pleases more than 50%. So I believe that we should continue to hybridize capitalism with socialism where the failures are evident. And I do believe eventually we'll come up with a whole new ism to describe the system that we've created. Right? Certain things are kept private and capitalist. Certain things are socialist. Right? Education, healthcare, a million different things, right? Makes sense. Police, fire departments make perfect sense. Being socialist, socialist constructs, right? There's many things that the private market does really well. Restaurants are pretty good. I've never been to a Soviet-style communist, straight up communist restaurant, but it sounds like a goddamn nightmare. Right? You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of push and pull here that needs to happen. And I do think eventually, if we continue to hybridize these systems together, we'll basically create a whole new ism. But I wanted to show this because we can't count, as much as I fucking hate Twitter commies, as much as I hate bad actor hammer and sickle motherfuckers running around telling me I need to look at Mao from a different angle, that doesn't mean we throw these political ideas in the trash either. So I wanted to show this. This is really cool.
Democrats or Republicans, communism or extinction.
See, I mean, and this guy I think is a communist, right? But this is kind of the thing that really scares people away right off the bat, right? I had to watch this several times to even think, is this guy pro-communist or not? I can't even tell. I think he is pro-communist, right? But this communism or extinction, you're not hitting the mainstream with that, dude. You're not hitting the clit with that. Okay? And communists need to drop this shit. They need to accept that it's going to be, if they want communism, that it's going to be a slow creeping crawl. Okay? And they got to stop calling it communism.
Communism or extinction. NATO or Russia. Internationalism or extinction.
Right? So you kind of, NATO or Russia, that's the paradigm. Well, there's actually a different paradigm.
Capitalism or socialism. Socialism or extinction.
You know, and I kind of disagree with this, but I do think that the hybridized system that I was talking about would predominantly be socialism with the trimmings of capitalism. It wouldn't be the other way around like what we have now.
Biden or Trump? A working class revolution.
This is a huge one. The working class does need to become aware of its power and its leverage against the oligarchy. And there does need to be a general strike. There does need to be more unionization. It doesn't necessarily have to be communist, right? But the communists are not wrong about this. When Biden or Trump, right? This is your only two choices. Well, actually, no. We're the ones in the driver's seat. That's the crazy thing, right? We have no idea we're actually driving this entire system. The people, proletariat, if you want to get marks on them. We're driving this fucking bus, right? And we got these assholes in the back of us telling us what to do. But we're the ones actually steering this thing. And it's not just a choice between Biden or Trump every single year, lesser of two evils. We actually need to break out of this paradigm and do recognize our own power as working class, as a laborer, white collar. I mean, I'm talking upper middle class and below, folks. You know, if you're making on paper, I'm a goddamn millionaire. It's ridiculous how bad inflation has hit our currency. I shouldn't be a millionaire, folks, okay? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Working class revolution. Musk or Zuck? World without billionaire.
What is the value of a billionaire? What are they providing to society?
Paper or plastic? There is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
You know, and this is the shit that loses the normies as well. Because it's like, what do you fucking what am I supposed to feel bad about my cell phone? Fuck you. You know, I got a life to live. You know what I mean? This is the shit that scares people away, right? So, you know, back the fuck up about this bullshit communism.
Eco-friendly products, eco-conscious consumer.
This is true, though. This idea that you can greenwash away your guilt about what you're doing, that you don't even need to try to change things because it's just guilt tripping. That's also ridiculous, right? So he does make a good point here. It's like, oh, well, it's okay. There is ethical consumption because we have eco-friendly products. It's a lie. Recycling is a lie. Look into recycling in general. The entire concept of recycling. Plastics, right? Reusing plastics. It's a fucking joke. It's a lie. Spits more pollution in the air than ever before.
Not believing that structural problems can be solved by individual consumer habits.
Nailed it. 100%. I mean, what, are you going to sit here and argue? You're going to sit here and argue that changing your light bulbs and changing your straws, which should happen, which absolutely should happen, is going to really impact when the top 10 contributors to pollution are corporations that are just polluting away? Right. And I'm talking about soft drink companies. I'm talking about like carpet companies, of course, oil companies. Right. But this idea that, you know, these problems can be solved by individual consumer habits is a lie perpetuated by these oligarchs through the mainstream media. Like I said, look up recycling. It's the biggest fucking con, a climate con that we've had in the last couple decades. Really, it is. It's a total scam.
It's a rat race, baby. I'm staying on my grind, clocking those gains, and clawing my way up to the top. Evolving out of the primordial shell of a society based on greed.
I agree. It sounds like communist gobbledygook, but no, this is 100% true, right? We do need to look beyond capitalism in terms of, you know, a system that works for human beings. We do, right? This whole Fukuyama idea, it's the end of history, that doesn't get any better than this. Not even fucking close. We do need to break out of this primordial shell of a society based on greed. I agree.
Exploitation and ruthless competition.
Yeah, and that's the big part, right? Is that it's a system that demands exploitation and, you know, competition. Like I said, crawling over the corpses to reach the top of the pile. That's the system they've built for us.
It's a dog-eat-dog world. Survival of the fittest. To each according to their need, from each according to their ability. So,
all right, so there you go, hitting you with the Marx. But, you know, we can't ignore communists just because we don't like them. Marx was correct on a lot of different things. A lot of things he couldn't have predicted because he was like, what, in the 30s or 40s or whatever, or what, even earlier, earlier than that, right? That was like World War II era. He was already dead by then. But he couldn't have predicted all the shit that we have now, all the differences in society. So there's a lot of, you know, guesses that he made that were not correct. But he was not stupid. He wasn't a stupid person. He was, you know, probably a genius. It's probably fair to say. Certainly obsessed with the subject, right? But this is brilliant, you know, and when you think about it, this is what we already agree upon, right? It's like, yeah, if you're really good at shit, you should get paid more. You should be compensated more for it, right? It's kind of like a meritocracy, what they're talking about, but this would be more like enshrined in law, right? Like there would be a quantifiable, I'm this good, right? I'm on a scale from 1 to 100. I'm this valuable to society. You know, that shit kind of does scare away the normies, but I do think that's kind of how we kind of think it works already, right? The smartest and most talented amongst us are rising to the top, right? And making more money and compensation because of it. Of course, that's not the reality, but that's what we think, and that feels good to us. That feels natural.
To their ability. Socialism just means everyone gets the same. What part of to each according to their ability do you not understand? Democrats.
So, nails it, right? So this guy's really great, you know, seems like a really smart cookie. Apparently he does Twitch streams sometimes. I don't know his name. No, Oculus. I mean, no. But what I'm trying to say is it's similar to a meritocracy. But no. True Marxism, communism, right? Would not work exactly like that. But at the same time, like what he says here, you know, to each according to their need. Right. So if you're a family of 5, you would get more than a single guy, bigger house, bigger apartment, from each according to their ability. So that means that would be your baseline. So according to your need, that would be the baseline, what you deserve. And then from each according to their ability would mean that you get more depending on how valuable you are to society. You know, I don't necessarily, you know, I would prefer a little bit more laissez-faire capitalism. Like I said, more of a meritocracy than that. But at the same time, we do need to take care of our weakest. There does need to be a baseline, right? This whole concept of, you know, a minimum of a minimum wage or, you know, money that's mailed to you every month. I can't quite remember the name of it at the moment. But you know what I mean? Like, that is basically a socialist idea that buttresses the exploitation inherent in capitalism, right? We're getting all Marx in here. But we can't ignore the communists. We can't. As much as they fucking annoy us, we can't. All right? Get used to it. You just suck it up. It sucks, I know. Talking about shitty things. Yeah, exactly. Kissing Gonzo. The health and strength of a society should be judged on its ability to take care of its weakest citizens. Universal basic income. Thank you very much, Ken Goblin. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Right? But that's a socialist idea that just buttresses a failure of capitalism. Right? So if we have to resort to universal basic income just to make the system work, well, why don't we just have a system that gives you what you need based off who you are? I'm an individual. I have 3 kids. I'm married with 3 kids. I'm single with 3 kids. right? Okay, well, the government says at the very least you get, some domicile somewhere, right? And if you're such an idiot, then the government will give you a job too. We've done job programs, right? We got FDR doing one of the most famous ones that helped America, building the highways, right? So those are all socialist ideas. Sorry, fucking, libertarian weirdos that want to think that, like America was built off individualism. Not even close. All right, anyway, off that subject, get me away from the hammer and sickle for a minute. Elon Musk has, that's, the history of America's highways being built is fraught with slavery and other things that Americans should be ashamed of. That's what Chem Goblin is referencing. It's interesting that you remember that. You're so informed, Chem Goblin. Chem Goblin lives in Ukraine, knows more about American history than I do. Anyway, Elon Musk is, of course, turning Twitter into a right-wing hellscape, right, where right-wing opinions, anyone can pay, but it really does seem, I mean, we got Elon Musk as a reply guy on Ian Michaels Chong, I believe is his name. An unapologetic fascist authoritarian who fully supports some of the worst human beings on the planet, right? Who will take a look at a BLM protest and, categorize it as a riot in 3 seconds. Elon Musk is not a legend for losing money. Man, I mean, really, you're still defending. Are you just doing it as a meme at this point? Honestly, it's embarrassing. If you are still backing up Elon Musk, God help you. God help you. And also, would you like to do some kind of business deal? Would you like to invest in my business? No, why? Well, here's a reason why. So Elon Musk is seemingly not, he's now doing this compensation. He's making the platform even worse by saying that if you get engagement from blue ticks, you will get money from Twitter. Right. So if you game the system and say inflammatory things and get a lot of blue check marks to reply and engage with your tweet, we will send you money. But guess what, guys? Turns out he's only sending money to extreme right-wing authoritarians on Twitter, like Tim Pool, like Libs of TikTok, Jordan Peterson. All the right-wingers are getting big fat paychecks to game the algorithm on Twitter, making Twitter the shittiest place you've ever seen in your life. And it just so happens that they're the only ones. It just so happens that they're the only ones that are getting paychecks, right? Angry Cheese, no one's buying it. No one, the whole Trojan horse, he's a lefty. Literally no one buys it anymore. Find a better angle with Tim Pool. No one believes he's a lefty, honey. Nobody is convinced. The only people that say he's a lefty are right wingers that know that, that want him to inject himself into the debate. But stop embarrassing yourself. Sucking Elon's disc. That's actually a funny Freudian slip. And because he's a tech guy. Tim Pool a lefty. Come on, honey. 2016 is over with. Okay. But anyway, here's this guy over here. He's left-handed. Yeah, sure. That's his girlfriend. Don't you insult her. So this guy, I don't know who he is. He lives in a box or something. But he's pointing out Elon Musk's obvious because there's a there are people who are, it's not like there's a list of everyone who received paychecks, but all the right wingers are bragging, right? Oh, look, I'm making money off being an inflammatory racist on Twitter. So there's a lot of right wingers that are saying, oh, I made this much money being a racist on Twitter. And this guy's just pointing out, okay, so all the racists got money. How come some of the, the example that he shows is, cats of Twitter, right? This has way more engagement than any of these guys. Mr. Beast did get a check. Like, Mr. Beast needs any fucking more money. But yeah, Mr. Beast apparently got a check too. So anyway, let's show it here.
Twitter revenue share is now officially a thing, where if you give them $8 a month for a check mark, and then receive 5 million impressions a month for 3 consecutive months, you qualify for their system. However, I think this will make the site much worse, and I'm not sure it really exists. So why is it going to make it worse? Well, we're now incentivizing interactions, which is an obvious ploy to keep people on the platform and using it, and I wanted to see how quickly I could reach 5 million impressions with the worst quality posts. I posted 3 obviously baity tweets, which are in no way original. I've seen this genre done repeatedly for years and years and years, and I managed to get a total of 342,000 impressions in less than a day. So that means if I did that process of posting 3 low-quality baity tweets 14 more times, I would hit 5 million impressions very easily, very, very quickly. I would qualify, right?
just a day's
Here's the other
work.
thing. First, you must give them money to get a check mark, but are you actually going to get paid for the revenue? This account here, Tweets of Cats, is fully verified with 1.2 million followers and a lot of interaction on their posts, and they've not received anything. So who is getting money? Oh, a very specific crowd. And as it turns out, those 5 million impressions will not actually give you revenue. The actual system to get a share of the revenue is not based on impressions. What matters is how many ads were shown to other verified users. Only verified users count, as otherwise it's trivial to game the system with bots. So basically what he's saying is anyone who sees your tweet but does not have a tick will not count towards your revenue share. So how are people getting up to $40,000? Is that even possible? A former executive of Twitter says these numbers are totally and completely bogus. It's all completely made up, and it feels like they're arbitrarily writing checks to people they like.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing. They are arbitrarily writing checks to people that they like. And of course, the right wing, oh, no, they don't. No, they don't. Well, no, they don't. Well, no, they don't. No. It's pretty obvious to me. I mean, goddamn, dude, when you're a reply guy on one of the worst bad actors. I mean, he's over here on Libs of TikTok. Interesting. Thank you very much. What's in a name for the follow? Davey in the chat, a well-respected member of the chat. Okay, look, all right. There we go. I untimed him out. He probably already left, but I untimed him out, Woke Patriot. Speak away if you're still here, Angry Cheese. He probably already left because he's a pissy little coward, right? 30 minutes is a long time to time someone out. I do it the maximum amount of time. All right, I'll leave him in there. All you. It's Trolls Have Fun Day. Woke Patriot wants to have some fun. Trolls go nuts in the chat. Chris Christie says, so a well-respected member of the Discord, Davey, believes that Chris Christie is somehow going to step up and, worm his way to the top of the Republican nomination process. And I can't stress enough how much Republicans do not want to support what this rhino, what they would consider a rhino, hanging out on ABC, right, as a political, consultant. Hanging out on ABC, right, and all these other left-wing channels. He's a constant presence here. Of course, he's now on Chris Christie's, he's now on Cuomo's banish Cuomo over here. He got too friendly with the interns. Sit on my lap, honey. Got a little too friendly with the interns, and now he's got to do this shit with News Nation. Who the fuck? Chris Christie lowering himself to such an interview. Welcome back, Krailazana. But anyway, Davey seems to think that this guy has a fucking chance in hell. I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. But let's hear what he has to say. It's 1:30. Let's hear what he has to say.
Do you maintain the current commitment? Do you expand it or do you contract it?
Talking about Ukraine.
I increase it. Because right now what the Biden administration is doing is giving them just enough weapons not to lose. I want them to have every weapon they need to be able to win. And this is a proxy war not just against Russia, Chris, but as you know, it's a proxy war against China.
I can't say that I don't hate his direct, his directness on this. Yep, I want to double down. It's a proxy war against China and Russia. Russia, of course, directly, but China indirectly. Yep, I want to do it. I want to go for it. I appreciate that. This guy is literally made out of sleaze. Okay, don't think for a second that he's telling you the truth, even for a second. But hey, I do like to hear him just fully acknowledging it's a proxy war, right? I don't know. Would Joe Biden call it a proxy war? Would he really?
China is funding this Russian war through their purchase of Russian oil. They are coordinating with Iran to provide deadly weapons to the Russian army.
Probably true.
And they are watching what we're going to do. And by the way,
your party doesn't like what you're saying right now.
Watching also.
Your party doesn't like it.
That's okay, Chris.
You got about 50% of your voters are going to say, Christie, you rhino, wino.
Kumo Unchained. Kumo Unleashed. Put Kumo on YouTube without any help, without any name, without nothing. And see how he would flounder. Are you kidding me? This guy. You're a rhino wino. Okay, Dad.
Chris, you know what the job of a leader is? It's not to follow polls, it's to change polls. And I will go out there and make the argument, and I will change minds and I will change hearts. Because what I'll say to folks is, we can spend this money now and have Ukrainian soldiers fight our war, or we can spend a lot more money and American blood later to fight in Taiwan. I'd rather have the fight now and send a clear message to China and not get to war to defend Israel in the Middle East by sending a clear message to Iran as well, that we will back our friends, our Ukrainian friends, and make sure that every authoritarian despot in this world knows that you cannot evade a free country and kill their innocent people and take their land with impunity.
Yeah. So we should go after Dick Cheney right now. Wait a minute. Whoops. Whoa. Woo. We should put George Bush behind bars, right? Yeah. No. Oh, no. Okay. No. All right. Well, there you go. I don't think he has a chance in hell. I can see why Davey likes him, though, and I do agree. I do enjoy his bluntness when it comes to Ukraine. This guy would give so many tax breaks to corporations, it would make your head spin. Right. But I do think if I have a choice, okay, I have no, Joe Biden is gone. Right. And I have no choice. Right. I got to pick between Trump, DeSantis or Chris Christie. I would pick Chris Christie over those other two. I would, because he does represent the Bush era GOP neocons who do find some benefit in sustaining some kind of pseudo democratic status quo. But talk about picking between a goddamn shit sandwich, right? Shit sandwich and a douche. Hey, what's up with the camera? Camera got drunk. Welcome back, Jimmy James TV. Make sure you subscribe to Jimmy James TV. I don't know who you are, but like and subscribe. This is great. I love to see this. Strap in, get some popcorn. All right, get comfortable. All right, and be prepared to lick some of the savoriest of tears. Listen to this. You're not the victim. Judge slams January 6th rioter at sentencing, and it's as good as it sounds, folks. Wait till you hear this. A federal judge on Friday slammed a convicted January 6th rioter who reportedly threw a tantrum during her sentencing, Politico's Kyle Cheney reports. District Judge Amit P. Mehta sentenced Audrey Southard Ramsey to 6 years in connection with the attack on the Capitol. Southard Ramsey, 54, of Spring Hill, Florida, she lives in Florida, was found guilty earlier this year of 3 counts of assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers. 3 counts of civil disorder and 1 count of obstruction of an official proceeding, all felonies. According to the Department of Justice, she's lucky she didn't get sedition. Cheney tweeted that Judge Mehta just tore into January 6th defendant who repeatedly assaulted and resisted police and screamed vulgarities at them outside the House chamber, even as members were still hiding inside. The screaming vulgarities, I'm not tripping about that, right? The throwing shit and resisting, and doing all that, that's the problem I have. You should be able to scream vulgarities at cops. I have no problem with that. Quote, she expressed no remorse today. Meta, maybe, has presided over cases involving other January 6 defendants and has handed out the longest sentences in connection with the insurrection. An absolute badass. Absolute. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Oh no! Oh, the lefties out here. Oh, they're just gonna say it's fake news. They say it was an assault. We shouldn't have gone after them so hard because it makes us look like we're going after them politically. Why are we worried about this? Why are we worried about punishing sedition? Are you fucking with me? He sentenced Stuart Rhodes to 18 years. That guy with the eye patch. He sent him 18 years, and Peter Schwartz to 14. An absolute badass. An absolute badass. Quote, you're not the victim, he said to Southern Ramsey. Quote, those police officers, they get to wear the label of patriot, not you. I mean, yes. I mean, yes. I mean, yeah, baby. I mean, yeah, baby. We got to redefine what it means to be a patriot. You goddamn right. The judge expressed a broad criticism of those involved in the insurrection who he said, quote, cloaked themselves in patriotism, Cheney reports. Quote, there's nothing patriotic about what you did, Mita said. You hurt people, you scared people, you terrorized members of Congress, you were a one-person wrecking ball. Just gonna go ahead and time this fucking moron out once again. Just gonna go ahead and put you back in the fucking corner where you belong. Put a little dunce hat on your head. It wasn't an insurrection because they weren't successful. Do you think we're that fucking stupid? Back to your fucking corner, Panda Man. You fucking authoritarian fascist. You support this. You support reframing the January 6th. Oh, it wasn't a real insurrection. They weren't successful. Back to your fucking corner. God, why is he still here? Meta, in excoricating Southern Rumsey said her actions don't reflect America's values. Apparently, my history classes were different from yours, Mita said. The country fought a revolution to establish democracy, not tear it down. Oh, but it wasn't a real insurrection. Oh, they didn't take control of the government, so it wasn't real. It didn't really happen. This is the tripe they fucking feed us. Wasn't a real insurrection, right? Oh, no, it was a fake gallows. They made T-shirts, folks. They made T-shirts. They made T-shirts. So I wanted to show this right before the mass shooting update, everyone's favorite segment pertaining to the U.S., the mass shooting update. I wanted to show this because as no matter how many times I say I don't want a complete gun ban because of situations just like this, no matter how many times I say it, the bad actor, probably Panda Man, if he could, he'd be typing one up. You want to ban all guns. You want to ban all guns. Why? Because I want to put restrictions on ownership over assault weapons. I want to ban all guns, even though I say time and time again, very specifically, the kind of guns I want to ban. Oh, you want to ban all guns? You want to ban all guns? No, I don't. And this is the reason why. This is the reason why. Some guys, this person's getting robbed. I don't know if it was a woman or what. This person's getting robbed. 2-man crew. One guy in the car. Other guy mugging the person. Person getting mugged, busts out a gun, shoots them both dead. Right? I ain't mad. Oh, the criminals don't deserve a death sentence. No. People deserve to defend themselves, okay? And they don't need to be training in jiu-jitsu and self-defense to be able to do it successfully. They deserve the right tools to do the job. I don't agree with banning pistols. I agree with banning pistols with 300 fucking bullets, with a drum mag. You're seeing these so-called gangsters running around with their little 9mm fully automatic 9mm with a big drum mag, right? And they can unload 150 bullets, right, from their little 9mm. I don't want pistols like that. Right? Nice, simple 9-shot Glocks, all you need. That's the kind of pistol I'm talking about. I would put regulations banning that kind of pistol. Oh, it doesn't work, except it actually does work. Except banning and regulating, bump stocks and other things, armor-piercing bullets, extended mags. Banning those things makes it harder for criminals to get them. Absolutely, factually, 100% true. Doesn't work. Yes, it fucking does. Don't believe the gaslighters. The numbers prove it. Take facts over feelings. The numbers prove it. So sick of the bad actors. So sick of this debate, right? Because I believe in defending yourself, right? Look, if you're a 70-year-old person sitting in your home, you deserve the right to defend yourself from people that, oh yeah, this is easy pickings. We're gonna kick down the door and tie up grandpa and steal all his shit. Happens every day, folks. It happens every single day in America. Look at the B&E stats, breaking and entering. People deserve the right to defend themselves, and this is the reason why.
Two men are dead following a shooting outside of a bank on the south side. Police Chief William McManus says it happened as a man was withdrawing money from an ATM.
So it was a dude.
Happened at about noon on Southwest Military Drive near Marbach. The chief says the victim, who is withdrawing the cash, was approached by a man who tried to rob him. He says there was a second suspect in a nearby car. The man at the ATM then pulled out a handgun and shot both suspects.
It was a robbery that didn't go well for the robbers, and we are...
Understatement of the fucking century. Is robbery did not go well for the robbers. I don't have a problem with that. I think thieves are the scum of the fucking earth. Thieves have ruined my life. Thieves have taken things from me that I'll never get back. Twice. One in my own family. All right? So I'm not shedding a single fucking tear. I'm not shedding a single fucking tear for him. Right? I think this is, at the same time, I would like to see a society who doesn't need guns, right? I would like to see that. But that's not the society we live in right now. It's funny, right? Everyone's okay with banning guns and banning police until they're the ones getting jacked. Until they're the ones getting fucking jacked. Welcome back, Helda Rose. Good to see you. I did not hear that, Helda Rose. That is interesting. That makes perfect sense that they, rebel groups or, groups that don't have a lot of money would be resorting to that. God, that'd be shitty to be on the front lines, though, with a plastic 3D printed weapon. Even though if the internals are metal, they have to be. But damn, that would still, 3D printed M4 over here.
Interviewing the person they attempted to rob right now.
The chief says he does not know if the two suspects killed had any weapons on them. And happening...
Look, man, I would prefer a society that isn't strapped, okay? But I also believe in your ability as an individual to protect yourself from those who would victimize you. And I think a pistol is an appropriate amount of power for a trained, licensed individual to carry. Yeah. If I'm going to a restaurant and homeboy's got a pistol in his fucking coat, he's not a cop, I'm not tripping. If he knows how to use it, right? If I know he's mentally sane, right? That he's not Charles Bronson over here, right? But it's a fine line, man. Until society gets safer, I'm not going to sit here and tell people that they have to walk around, as victims. Until society gets safer, one way or the other. Like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but right now, day to day, on the ground, your ass can get jacked in the United States of America. Big city, small city, B&Es, murders, right? Maybe you live in a place where it doesn't happen that often. That's great. But you're still vulnerable. And I do believe you should have the opportunity to equip yourself with a necessary amount of power. Like I said, not 150 round drum mags and fully automatic, 9mm. I don't think that's not the necessary amount of power, right? Could you imagine? Someone tries to mug him, he just Just start spraying. Like Archer, not Archer. What's that? It's that Adult Swim show with that actor, right, from the 80s. Looks like MacGyver. Self-defense flamethrower. Okay, with that said, though, we do live in a violent society. Gun deaths are out of hand. Mass shootings are out of hand. Usually these mass shootings, it's not always assault weapons that are doing these mass shootings, right? The problem is, of course, mental health, the lack of mental health care. This is on top of basically open air gun markets where you can buy literally anything, get anything you want, right? It doesn't matter your mental capacity. None of that is, a lot of these places like in Florida, you're just allowed to just walk around with a gun. Doesn't even matter. Like, I just feel like carrying a gun all day. It's no problem. I don't need a license. I don't need nothing. I don't need to show any competency with this weapon. We're seeing people who are not mentally fit to use, to have these tools, have easy access to these tools. And that is what is causing what has become America's #1 segment at the News Underground. The mass shooting update, folks. The mass shooting update. All right, on today's mass shooting update, we're going to update you. There's been 439 mass shootings in 2023. 439. We've already cracked that year barrier. We're well beyond that. Total of 5,574 mass shootings since 2013, and one whole day since the last mass shooting. Thank you so much, good guys with guns. Thank you so much. Over there in Fargo, North Dakota, 2 dead and 3 injured. Preliminary, 3 police officers were shot while responding to a traffic accident, with 1 killed and 2 critically wounded. Gunman unidentified was later found dead at apartment complex. This is an interesting one. Wow, shot up the cops, then killed himself at his apartment. That's a pretty rare one. Over there in Bladensburg, MD. What is that? What is MD? Anyway, 0 dead and 5 injured. Gunman unknown. Over there in East Street, Louise, Illinois. Interesting. 1 dead and 4 injured. Gunman unknown. Over there in El Paso, Texas. Yeehaw! Maryland. Maryland. So embarrassing. I know. I'm embarrassing. I don't belong up here. I know. I know. Yep. He's not wrong, folks. He's not wrong. I'm smoking lots of weed. I was trained by underpaid professional, people that were barely professionals that wanted to just see me out of there. I was such a little asshole in school. I paid attention to nothing. Over there in El Paso, Texas, 2 dead and 4 injured. Gunmen Andrew J. Williams and Aaron John, 22. 20 years old and 22. What would make a 20-year-old person so nihilistic that they would throw away their life like that? Oh, they must have just liked crime and they just liked violence. It had nothing to do with social despair, economic despair, a lack of prospects for the future. Had nothing to do with that. Over there in Silver Spring, Maryland. Hey, Maryland, look at that. Another one from Maryland. 0 dead and 4 injured. Gunman unknown. 5th victim suffered non-gunshot injuries. I don't know what that means. Anyway, folks, there you go. That's the Garbage Fuel mass shooting update, America's favorite subject and segment on the News Underground. Thank you so much, Garbage Fuel. Garbage Fuel would like to remind you that none of this is going to change. This is the new normal. Enjoy it. All right, folks, that's my U.S.